Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. Today it's going to be a marathon build, not only because of what we're building, but I'm going to be adding some stuff into that and you'll see that in a second. I'm going to try and attempt to do stages 96 to 106 of the Hachette Partworks release and build the Batmobile Tumbler. So where do we start this adventure? So in stage 95, do you remember how big that stage was? It was absolutely massive. There was feedback that I got that there is an issue with the Tumbler, and that is that when you use the remote, the wheels can go right, no problems, but if they go left, there's no limit switch. Something's wrong with the limit switch and they just lock to the left. The reason for that is because the polarity on cable 2 is the wrong way round. Now I believe Hachette Partworks are going to be giving us a replacement cable that we can plug into the end, just sort of like an extension to flip the polarity. It's a simple fix, you haven't got to take the car apart, you're just going to be undoing a plug, putting the wire in and then plugging it back in again. Or you can do it yourself. And to do that, you just use these 1.25mm JST leads, and these are available in my Amazon store. You've got a female and you've got a male, and all you need to do is connect the black of the female to the red of the male, and then do the red of the female to the black of the male. So they're going to be connected like that, which means you've got an extension lead pretty much. Look, you've got a female end and a male end. That's all they're going to be sending you. So if you do want to make one yourself, it is in my Amazon store, and I have put a link down here for that. So that addresses that issue. Now regarding the ailerons, do you remember I had a problem with the ailerons? Hopefully I can say that right. Well, I need to thank Mo Muzaffar for sending me the replacement little bit that I was missing. That's in there now. So hopefully my ailerons are going to work. So that's another thing. And I've got no idea what we're going to be doing in all of these stages. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But before we even get onto that, have you noticed I'm wearing my Robots World Away shirt? And that's because my merch store is up and running now. We've got another merch on the map. So today's merch on the map is Noel Martinez. Now Noel lives in New York, in the Bronx in New York, which I think is 3,471 miles. And check this out, he's got the Infinity Gauntlet, which looks complete. A completed Infinity Gauntlet, go figure. I don't know how that goes. Love the t-shirt, Noel. I actually want to get that one for myself. That's a brand new one that's in the store now. But thank you for that submission. I am going to collate all of these together and do some sort of montage during the Christmas live stream this year. So that's brilliant. Thank you for that. I've ordered that shirt for myself. I haven't actually got that for myself yet, but that's on its way. But remember, if you do want to get something from the merch store, again, follow my link tree and you'll be able to link to my merch store in that. But big deal builds today, lot to do. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So, stage 96, what are we doing? Slowly wins the race. So we've got all of these parts here, which I don't think we use straight away because we are going to be putting this into place here. It's going to go over the side and we're going to be screwing this into the side. Now I think I'm going to have to probably use my mobile phone camera for this because it's going to be hard to show you that. I don't know if I'll be able to put this on its side without breaking something. But once these are in just like this, we are then taking some parts that we had in the last stages, which look like, whoops, 1 and 2. And I'm guessing we're putting these on as well, looking just like that. So there is a fair bit to do just in stage 96. That's how it's looking. So let's bring over where we got to, and I am going to zoom out cameras. Funny enough, I've zoomed out every camera as far as I can possibly get it. So we have put this top on here, just like this, and we have connected all the wires up, as you can see there. Now, one thing we do have to ensure is on the back here, can you see those little wires hanging down? The what are they? They're the emergency brake rods. Make sure that they're hanging out just like that. Okay. Now, I'd already put all the cables behind this seat here, but what I want to do is I want to move this forward now so that this area here is next to these 2 holes that we've got either side here and here. Perfect. So that's all in there. I've still got access to the wires at the back and I can still see these wires here. Now I want to make sure that this area here is slotted into this center section here, and these sections here are over the lugs which we've got on each side here and here. That's looking good. So this is what it's looking like on my mobile camera, and the first two screws I'm going to be putting in are AAM screws, and they're going to go into these two holes just here. So as you can see, those two are in, and now if I pan to the back of the car, just under here, you can see I've got another two to put in just into the holes that we've got here and here. So when they're in, you should have two there and those two in there. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. And once again on the other side, there's two in there and then two at the back. Now I need these VM screws, and if we go back over to the model, they're going to go into the holes that you can see just between the springs there. So one that side and one that side over here. And then lastly, I've got these silver EP screws here. Move to the back of the car, and they're going to go into the 2 points you can just see there. So as you can see, they're in. So next part we need are these that I showed you right at the beginning. I want the left one first, and zooming up to the left hand side, the lugs of that are going to fit into those two holes there. So when that's in, it should look like that. Let's do the other side. And that's the other side done, and that's pretty much the tumbler together now. All of that is one piece. Looking good. So, believe it or not, we get to open stage 96 now. And I have zoomed up the cameras a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pistons here into the points here and one at the other side here. Now, there is a little sprue to take off of this. The other one didn't have one, so I don't know what that was all about, but one goes in there and one goes in this side here. Oh, it does have one, look. Let's take that off. Now I need to hold them in with the clips on this sprue here. Don't cut the clips off, because you're going to have a hard time getting these in, but if you leave them on, watch this. I can put that in, push it into place, and then snip it off now. See, much easier way to get that in. Do the same on the other side. Put the clip in. Perfect. And then just snip it off. So there, in. Nice easy way to do that. So bring the tumbler back over. And this part here is going to be fitting over the top of that part there. So that should fit flat in there just like that. And it's held in with two EM screws into the holes here and here. So you can probably see I've got those screws in there, and then we've just got this plate here that's going to hide those screw holes. It just goes over the top here. So it looks like that, and that is the end of that stage. So stage 97, here are the instructions. I think it's going to tone down how much we're doing now, because we're just going to be doing this side now on the other side of the car, just like what we've done. So we can actually just whiz through this, doing exactly the same technique I showed you earlier. So here's stage 97. Let me just get all of these parts out. And once again, just cut off these sprues here. Insert them into these points, 1 and 2. Hold them in place and then feed these clips in, keeping them on the sprue until they're in and then cutting them off. And do the same with the one here. Bring over the vehicle again, and this time this one's going on this side here, just like last time, held in with two EM screws. Once again, you can see those screws are in. I'll put the plates over the top. So that looks like that, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, stage 98. Here's the instructions. No idea what we're doing now. We've got these two parts here. So what we're going to do, by the look of it, is we're doing something near the back here. We're putting a screw in of something. This flap here. So it's two CM screws by the look of it we're putting in to Doesn't look like we're doing a lot actually into this one. And because we've got a similar in the next stage, I think I'm going to bundle 98 and 99 together. So this is stage 99, and I'm guessing that's going to be exactly the same thing. Let me just check. It looks like it's the same. It is. We're just doing on the other side here. So that is those two stages. So these are the boxes for 98 and 99. Let's get these open. Bringing the car back over again. And the plate is going to go into this section just here. It's actually going to go into here like this. Now there is going to be an issue with just that in there onto that lug. I've noticed that's a little bit tight, so I might need to do a bit of filing on that. But as you can see there, I've got that in. I'm going to be putting 2 cm screws just into those 2 holes there. So as you can see, they're in. And then I'm going to be clipping this bit in. We've got 2 lugs on the other side just into the holes here and here. So that's how that looks when that's in. We'll do exactly the same on the other side. And when they're both in, they should look like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So stage 100. Here's the magazine. Looking like this. And now we've got this armour part here with some shafts going in, which I'm guessing are going to go into those ones that we put in earlier on. And then we're going to be putting this all together, putting this to the side of the car just like that, on top of what we created. Now I'm guessing, yep, in the next pack, we're doing exactly the same thing. So actually, we do move on to the actual next pack. So I'm going to bundle these two together as well. So this is stage 101, looking like this. And as you can see, we're doing exactly the same thing. So we're going to be doing this twice on either side. So I think what I'll do is I'll do one, show you how I'm doing that, and then I'll just fit the other one and we'll see how that looks. So, big box this one, stage 100. 100, wow, that came up quick. Okay, we're going to do exactly the same technique as last time, because we've got these 2 shafts here to go in, and they're going to be going into the holes just here and here. So we push them in, one there and one here. Turn it over, and then once again we've got these clips. Keep them on the sprue, push them on, and then cut them off. So as you can see, they stay in place. I want to turn this over. So I've zoomed up my top camera with these 2 points here. I'm going to be putting this grill section in. And we do have just a push in, so just line them up and push down. There you go. Take some pushing, but they're in. I want to get some AM screws ready and bring over the tumbler again. And just like I mentioned here, remember these shafts we put in? We're going to be putting them shafts into the posts there. And this is going to be going along the side here. So let me get that lined up and in, show you what that looks like. So as you can see, the shafts are now in there. This is in position, and it needs 2 of those AM screws just into those holes there. So they're both in. All it's going to be taking then is this to hide all of those screw holes by clipping this in. And that is all there is to do in that stage. I'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. And there you go. That's one in one side. And I've just done the one on this side here. And that's all there is to do in those stages. So in stage 102, it is a marathon build, isn't it? Here we go. Here's the instructions. We've got this panel here with some details on just like that. So I'm going to be putting these details into this. These are dials by the look of it. So at the end, it's just looking like that. There isn't much to do in this one. So once again, I am going to bundle this with stage 103. A big box in 103. Check that out. So here is the magazine. And we've just got this part here where we're putting this onto that part there. Hardly anything to do in that one either. So, and look what's coming in this one. Not much as well. Let's just do these 2 together. So open the box here, get everything out. Now, the bit we're mounting these dials to is metal, just so you know. So first thing I'm going to put in are these gold sections here. Now, from what I hear before, they are tight to get in. Looking at this, I reckon I can get them in with a tiny bit of oil on the end. Let's have a go. See if that works. And it does. See, they fit perfectly in there. Do the same with the next one. Very tight, so a little bit of oil. And they push in perfectly. Do the same with the dials. Now the dials need to be going off in sort of like a 10 o'clock direction. So I'm putting them in here. In the picture, they've got two dials exactly the same. They're not the same, just so you know. They are different dials, but I've made sure they're around the right way. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Then I can open this big box here, and having this round this way, this is all metal, I'm going to be putting this into position. Now, it's going to be going on top of this section here, just like that. We look on the top camera, that's how it's fitting in. It's held in just from the back here with two of these AM screws, which I've already opened. This one's going to be the quickest stage known to man. So one in there and one just in the other side here. And with that in place, nice and tight, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now I'm intrigued to know what we're doing in stage 104. Here's the instructions. And we've got these ailerons. It looks like some more ailerons. They're air brakes, actually, emergency air brakes. We're going to piece two of these together, just like this. And I'm going to be attaching that to the side of what we just created on here, just like that there. Now, looking at that, you know what I'm going to say? We're going to do two together because it's just doing the other side. So that's 104. And this here is 105. Which, again, doing exactly the same thing. So I'll open up 104 first, and what I'll do, just like I did with the sides of the car, is I'll do one side and then we'll just skip to the second one being done. So, first things to do is to piece these two parts together so they fit nice and flush in there. And I'm going to be holding that in with two AAP screws. These are very tiny screws. So one there and one here. Sure, that's clipped in all the way. It should be flush all the way around there. Bring over this section that we worked on in the last stage, and I want to put this hinge on the end. Now it needs to go that way round on the hinge, so it's going to go like this on there. Thread this area here through the hole at the end, which lines up that hinge just there, and I'm holding that in with an MM screw. Just a single solitary MM screw in there, nice and tight. There we go. That air brake is in. We're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So I'm just screwing this last side in. This one, I've got all of that together. And that is the end of those two stages. Perfect. I'm quite sad that we've come to the end of this marathon build now, because this is the last stage. We've done a lot there, haven't we? So, stage 106. Here's the magazine. And we do have quite a bit to do here. So we're going to be actually creating these sections here, putting these onto what we've been creating. So at the end of this, that is how it's going to look. So get this open. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is these are metal, these shock absorbers, just so you know. I'm going to be putting some of this rubber piping onto the nipple here. So one this side, like that. They do hold quite well, so I don't think I'm going to glue these. And one this side. Move this to one side, bringing over what we've been working on, and I want it this way round. I'm going to be putting these shocks into place. So I want them this way round with the pipe facing down, and they're going to be going into this section here. So one there, and one this side over here. Now they're going to be held in with GM screws. So I've got that here. Let's just screw both sides in. So they're in. I want to sort out these little linkages here because some are straight and some are tilted. So I'm putting the straight ones together and the tilted ones together. And it's the straight ones I want first. I want to put them in so that the end that hasn't got this detailing here is facing upwards. The end we're attaching is this end just here. So they're going to go over the pegs that we've got inside here. So one this side. And they're going off in this direction. Do the same on the other side. Excellent. Just like that. Then I'm going to be taking the ones that have got this tilted section on. And again, same way round. So the thinner end is going upwards. One in there and one just in this side. So if I show you closely how that looks, there you go. Okay. Now I need these posts here. 106C is this one here. And I've got these, what are these? Hydraulic cylinders to put in. Now we've got 2 holes just at the end. So I'm going to be pushing these into the 2 holes like that. I can actually put that to one side now because I do need to bring over the car. Before I do though, I'm just going to push this other one in on this side here. Okay, let's hope that the camera can pick these up. I've got a hole just there in this side, and I've got a hole just on this firewall here for this to go in. So I'm going to put this in and show you how it fits. The hole just there is for this lug on this side here. And as you can see, when it's in, that's how it should look. So I'm going to put the one in on the other side. And there you go. When they're both in, they should look like that. We are left with some CM screws and some UP screws to keep them safe, but that is all there is to do in that stage. And what a marathon build. Check that out. Haha, that looks so cool. Just a stop press thing here. Make sure that all the cables that I showed you out the back are now on the inside. They all need to be on the inside here. That's all done now though. So I'm trying to give you an idea of how this is looking. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Oh my god. But there you go. That is another marathon build done. Pretty happy with that. 2 marathon builds in 2 days, huh? I don't think this is available anymore, but I have put a link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen. But I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.